Yo, YouTube, we back at it again. Another episode, Words with Waters, by yours truly, Words by Waters. We here, y'all. We got less than a day, man. Less than a day away to 2023, man. Deuce Trey. New energy, new life, new love, new motivation, new tears, new vision, new passion, new enlightenment, transcending to hopefully our better selves. So let's get into it. Another top of the dome topic. I'm gonna have to light the sage and the Palo Santo for this one, cause yeah, this was one I've been meaning to do for a minute, man. I've been meaning to do this one for a minute. Yeah, especially because I feel like it's kind of current events. It kind of died down for a second. I think everybody in society is always looking for that next, like what everybody talking about, So I've never been like a hype beast, not just when it comes to shoes, but like a hype beast in general, just following the hype. To those who are, nothing against you. Hey, to each his own. If it's entertaining for you, it's entertaining for you. I'm not here to bash anybody and what they do. There's everything for someone. There's everything for everyone, but everything is not for everyone. So, but yes, man, we're gonna get into this one. So like I said, I need to light the sage and the Palo Santo for this one. And like I said, I was talking to my Mita about this earlier, and I was just like, man, I like this. I like to speak from spirit. I really consciously apply effort to speak from spirit, and spirit was like just floating around and said, you know what, we need to talk about this, because I think she was talking about some Jordans, and she was just talking about all these luxury brands, and it's like, no, I need to talk about this. So today's top of the dome topic is how I think Ye cracked the code on name brands leading to poverty. And hear me out, y'all. Not necessarily saying it's something new because Kanye brought it up. Ye, Yeezy, whatever he calls himself, Ye, for the sake of calling him what he called himself. But like really saying that I think he cracked the code because he has the voice to help allow people to listen to him, you know? So it's like there's that saying that you never argue with a clown or never argue with a fool in person, because people will never know who's the fool if they're onlooking, and they'll never know. But what people don't notice is that even if you don't know who's the fool, you still hear something. So I think that's his superpower, to get people to hear him no matter what. And in the era where attention is fame and fame is money, he always gonna be rich no matter what, because he knows how to get people's attention to follow him. So I say he cracked the code because he knew that he's a voice that people are gonna hear regardless if they like it or not. And once you are in somebody's ear, you're planting a seed, and they're gonna be thinking about you, talking about you. It's like shit, like they say in Hollywood, there's no such thing as bad publicity as long as somebody talking about you. So I say he's cracked the code for the purpose of saying, like, he woke people up to at least be able to say, hey, we having this dialogue for real, and y'all gonna talk about it. Y'all gonna call them crazy, whatever. And in no way I put a disclaimer out there. I put in the description. This is nothing condoning any anti-Semitic conversations, hate crimes, or whatever. Y'all can say that's him, and for him, that's his life, that's his choices, whatever. And I'm not even dissing the man. I'm just saying in my version, this is nothing against any Jewish people, nothing against any race, no hatred. It's nothing but love over here. I love too much to hate. I hate certain characters, but I don't hate certain people. I hate certain characters of any person, but I don't hate any individual race or person. So with that being said, we can get this thing popping. I say that because we have to realize, and this you hear this all over the internet. So what I'm saying, for those people who are like woke and the real woke mafia, and I'm not talking about that. Nothing against the people that's like feeling that they woke now and all that stuff, but like people who can say they woke. Because once upon a time, and I hope, like, this about to date me and tell my age, but I don't know if y'all remember when Black Star Line, if y'all really know, if you know, you really know, Black Star Line, which is like a group that Mos Def and Talib Kweli came from. I mean, I'm from Atlanta, like really from Atlanta, born in Atlanta, Grady baby shit. And there's not too many people from Atlanta who know like about up top New York music like that, and I'm one of them ones. But like Black Star Line is like a group that Talib Kweli had came out with. Shouts out to them, and Mos Def. And they had came out with this tape a long time ago. I think it's probably like 2002. And it was called Wake Up Radio. And it was like Wake Up Radio, but it was like a spinoff of the word being woke. and it was like just some like waking up in the morning shit, but it was really telling people like to wake up. So I say like for folks who really been on some like we woke shit since like a while back, for those people, you understand that the whole like the last names, Europeans, the last names, and everybody who owns everything, their last name is embedded in it, pretty much somehow. You look at Dell Computer, Michael Dell. You know what I'm saying? You look at everything that you see is somebody's name. HP, the HP computers, Hewlett Packard. You know what I'm saying? Those are two people's names. Everything, Kroger's, Publix, everything their last name is embedded in it. So when you going around Balenciaga, Coco Chanel, Christian Dior, everything, like, and when you look at that, it's kind of like we so caught in the loop. And I don't want to have to use the word matrix and all that just to sound cliche. So I say a loop because it just keeps going over and over, this cycle. You know, we're so caught in the cycle, in the loop, that it's hard for us to really decipher what's worth it in the long run compared to like what's temporarily or what's hype or what's trend. So I feel like Ye cracked the code because he got people really asking the question now, even if they don't want to discuss it. He's forcing people to have a narrative. You know, albeit his ways of going it, the world may not agree with it. And once again, I ain't condoning anything when it comes to that. But like, would you rather the conversation not be had, or would you rather the conversation be had and people feel uncomfortable about the conversation? I mean, that's for everyone to decide. But I see the truth in saying, like, is Black people and minorities, is having our names and being able to buy our own products really what we want? Like, think about that. Think about how much work will go into that. You know, think about how long we've been purchasing somebody else's products. Think about how long we've been trying to be somebody else as in their products and consuming their products and allowing their products to identify who we are. Like, is that really what it is, or are we just upset about something else? Like, this is like a real question. This isn't rhetorical. Love to hear what y'all got to say in the comments. But like, is that true? What do we really want to be like? You know what, man? We don't really need their stuff no more. You know, we don't really need what they got. They got too much stuff. They got all these cars. Everybody's name is in the car. Mercedes Benz, Rolls Royce. That's two people's names, and we the main ones rapping about it. Like, man, so many people talk about Lupe Fiasco talks about it all the time. So it's like, okay, well, we bringing everything to light. Then what? Are we really gonna go out there and try to establish bank, y'all? Are we really gonna go out there and try to get these Black-owned venture capitalist companies and create private equity funds, and then we go out here and find these all 100% Black, Latino, whatever y'all want to consider to be a minority, startup companies, and like, is that really what we want to do, or is we just in our feelings and we upset? Like, you know, are we really willing to change the trajectory to be like, you know what, we gonna put some work in now. We tired of that shit. Because if not, then what the fuck is he talking about this shit for then? Why is that? You might as well just let this shit keep rolling. Keep buying Jordans, keep buying Balenciagas, keep rapping about the shit, keep killing about it. And I'm not saying that to say like, I'm sarcastically saying that, but at the same time, like, you know, because I'm a plan of action type person. So I think what Ye did is he cracked the code, because now he got folks sitting back in the chair like, damn, this nigga sounding crazy, bro, but are we really gonna do this? Like, are we really about to do this? Or are we not really about to do this? Or what are we doing? Because nobody had the conversation. You'll hear people sprinkle the conversation, but nobody went out there and just went wild with it. Pac did it. Pac did it for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But Pac was wearing Versace, but then by the time he really wanted to do it, he got killed. That's when he came out with the Machiavelli album, the Don Illuminati 7-Day Theory. And it was created in 7 days. That was another reason why it was called the 7-Day Theory, because he made the album in 7 days. So he did it, you know, he tried to get it and be like, okay, well, but at the same time, he was wearing Versace, you know what I'm saying? He was wearing Karl Lagerfeld or Coco Chanel and all that shit. So I seen an old video of that nigga. He was wearing some brand. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't Balenciaga. It was one of them old ass brands. It wasn't Gucci. It was one of them Italian or French, Parisian brands. But that's why I say Ye cracked the code, because it's like all of them did it, but nobody came out and just was like sounding ludicrous and crazy with it and still wasn't like just losing everything for it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of where he might have a plan and switch it around, ain't no telling what that guy gonna do. And this is not the topic of the conversation. I think he's just like the surface level of my conversation and the dialogue that we having today. Is like, okay, bro, he got everybody. He shook shit up. Now, what we sent back in discussing our next move. What's the next move? Because if you think about it, it is the dialogue to poverty. People are spending their last dollar to get a car, going to debt to get the car, going to debt to get the shoes, kill you for the J's, kill you for the clothes, rob you for the Versace, rob you for the Balenciaga, rob you for the Amiri, all of this shit, Alexander McQueen, rob, like all the most treacherous actions and crimes are committed for the sake of being able to have this certain status. And we know this already. But since we know it, then what? Like, then what? Then what? Because we can all sit back safe. We safe now. For the most part, we safe. I think if we wasn't safe, it'd be an even worse dialogue if we wasn't safe. Because we can all get Twitter thumbs. We can all sit on YouTube and be like, oh, man, this is how I feel about this, and be mad for one day. Then you know you got to go back to your workplace that's probably owned, that's probably, what they call it, a sister company, a subsidiary of a parent company that's owned by somebody that's owned by somebody. So is this about ownership, or is this about self-ownership and really just trying to feel like, who the fuck are we as minorities? Where do we sit in this machine that truly can be had by anybody? But you'll be able to have money in this country before you have power. And it sounds crazy. Only the wise understand the difference. You can have some money, and that only gets you so far. But even money can't get you into certain rooms. And it is what it is. Certain rooms that you might, I don't even want to be in there anyway. How you know? How you know you don't want to be in that room? And honestly, I think a lot of what I'm saying is why Ye did what he did, because he knew he couldn't get in certain rooms. So he's like, well, fuck it. Y'all ain't going to invite me to the party. I'm going to tell this. You know how it is when you're a kid. I'm going to tell my mama. You know what I'm saying? Somebody invite you in that bitch, you got to run off and tell her, I ain't going to be your friend no more. Hey, that's what that nigga Ye did, boy. He said, I'm about to go tell my mom dukes on y'all, boy. Y'all boys ain't let me play in the party, boy. Y'all didn't even invite me in that bit. So that's how I feel that we doing. I'm like, are we really doing this because we upset, or are we really trying to go out and establish our shit? You know, and have some what they had down in I think, what was that? Don't get it twisted. I can't remember. I think it was Arkansas, wherever the Black Wall Street was. But are we trying to have our Black Wall Street for real? Or is it just like we upset now because we can't, you know what I mean? Because some folks be chilling, you know what I mean? Some people are really not that enlightened, and some motherfuckers like, man, you can keep all that deep shit, you feel me? I'm from Atlanta, we be quick motherfucker, but you better take all that deep shit on somewhere, especially like if you were growing up in the 90s. But, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't trying to hear that shit, shout it, you feel me? So some people like that, you know, to each his own. There's that crowd, then there's that crowd who just lost in the sauce, don't know what the fuck going on, and they following anything, and then those people who just shout out, don't give a fuck, rebellion, you know what I'm saying? Literally off the grid, literally, you know what I'm saying, making their own shit, super vegan, super organic, super homegrown, super dread-headed, super, I'm sewing my own clothes, all that. But the thing about society is that society is social. Those are the same words. They're derivative from each other. Social, society. So it's like, it's us as a collective, you know? And then we talking about the culture here. It's like, okay, I was having this conversation with the homie, and I was like, bro, because he was talking about how he really believed like the BMX culture is really about to get sauced up by like black males. You know what I'm saying? And even to the ladies too. Ladies, I'm sure y'all gonna come in here. The black women's sure gonna come into the BMX game and turn it up. And he was like, the BMX game has been so played out that it's oversaturated with, like, you know, mostly the folks who really started it really big, which was the white boys. And I was saying, like, bro, it's all good that we bring in our culture in, but like, we on our own shit. Like, we can kind of get mad and be like culture vultures, and they fucking Nike up, and we got white Air Force Ones and white girls wearing Air Force Ones because and they make them look dirty now and all that. But it's like, bro, Phil Knight is a white man. He created Nike. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's really still they shit. You know what I mean? We just making it, I guess, look cooler or whatever, but, like, it still ain't ours. You know what I mean? So we can try to take claim for the culture, which is, like, and I compared it to it being, like, some just plain ass chicken and we throw some fire ass sauce on that motherfucker. And my homie started laughing because he was like, well, damn, you right, bro. It's like, shit, we can bring a good ass sauce, but what the hell we gonna put it on? You feel me? And it's like, cool, we can take claim to fame, like, well, it makes it better, but it's like, what if there is nothing to make better? Then what the fuck you gonna do? And I told him, like, bro, shit, you gotta figure out how to sell the sauce by itself. And that's what we not doing. We not selling the sauce by itself. When we learn how to sell the sauce by itself and not rely on other sources, then we can talk our shit. And if that's the conversation we having, you know what I'm saying, please hit me up. We can have that, because that's how I think. But if we just sitting back and mad because they got the product and we up here upset now because we trying to add our little bit to it and we ain't getting as much as we think we did, we just being babies and crying. So Ye cracked the code by being able to bring everybody to the forefront and raise everybody from the dead and have the conversation, no matter how long it goes off, until he back in the news again, or if he not in the news and something else pop off. But to be able to say that's like, damn, bro, motherfuckers is dying over this fashion shit. And it's been like that for a long time. Over these cars, over everything. The jewelry, we don't own no mines. We don't own no mines, no gold mines, no diamond mines. We have no ownership. So is this about ownership, or is this about being upset because there is no ownership? I think there's two things, you know. Are we upset because we don't have it, or are we not upset because we don't have it? Like, we got to do something. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something. That's why I said it's touchy, because a lot of people are like, man, but then if you truly look around at your house, how much you got on? Like, what do you really have? Like, how much did you work to spend to go get those shoes? And you running a rat race every day. You're on the turning wheel, and it's getting a lot better. This ain't the 90s. Dudes can make all type of money. Women can make all type of money just sitting online, sitting at the house, from the phone, make racks from just the phone, from YouTube to some niggas making thousands, $100,000 off of apps and doing just basic stuff like Uber, making thousands and sitting at the crib and just saving their money. So there's all type of ways for folks to not think it's an issue because they're comfortable. And that's what I said earlier in the video. We comfortable right now. We chilling. Shake some shit up and see how drastic and hectic somebody get about their situation when shit gets shaken up. And I think that's what happens in society when you see stuff like COVID and people's true colors come out when they ain't comfortable. When motherfuckers realize they ain't got no food in the fridge or it get cold outside and niggas start changing. You know what I'm saying? So I think, once again, that's what might have happened to Ye. He started realizing, like, damn, man, shit ain't comfortable for me because I can't do as much as I want to do. So fuck this shit. You know what I mean? So that's the real heart of the conversation, y'all. Like, how much does it really matter to us? Are we having a conversation of, we need to sit down and discuss what our next moves are? Whether I start off with the two people I know, the two homies I know, and we know we buying Jordans. You know, we go back, bro, how much money you spend on shoes? Wait, that's another thing. We got to get out of our egos. We really got to get out of our egos when it comes to like being honest about our money and our budgets. And I'm going to say that one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't rich. I ain't wealthy. I ain't even no 100,000+ there. But my money management skills is pretty fine. And that'll be a whole nother conversation. But we got to really start talking about not having our egos in a way to discuss our finances with each other, our peers, you know. And this is more of a black man conversation right now. And black women, y'all can be included as well. People of color, women and males. I mean, yes, women and males, y'all can be included as well. But like, black men primarily need to have that conversation. You can sit down with the bros and be like, bro, how much money you spend on shoes this week or this month? And with no ego, just to check your homie. Be like, man, I spent, you know, was it an investment? You just doing it because you got it, like, and really because everybody different. Some niggas might, like, they got the bag like that, and it's like, you can compare your situation, like, well, damn, how about we take, you know, you got an extra 100 to throw into this, and really be humble and have that conversation. If we having a conversation about feeling like we not owning enough, because I think in our hearts, that's what it really is. But maybe we realize that it's a lot tougher than we think, so we not doing it. You know, how come rappers ain't coming together and building REITs? I don't know. They might be doing it, and there might be a whole bunch of houses out here in apartment complexes and a whole bunch of master plan communities and a whole bunch of retail districts that are owned by like a conglomerate of rappers. I don't know. I think it would have been put out there, but I don't know. I don't know why they not coming together and building master plan communities, and each one from this city might bring 4 or 5 together. Between Atlanta and New York, Wells popping, Miami, in LA, and yeah, the Bay Area. We can do a lot. So I just don't want us to get caught up and lost in the sauce of saying, you know what, we doing this out of habit and our nature is to consume because that's the only thing to consume. And if that's the case, then get in where you can fit in. You know, that's why I fuck with Wall Street Trapper, man. Shouts out to him, man. He was telling people that if you want to purchase some things, and them boys on Earn Your Leisure, man. If you want to purchase some things, at least purchase some things and some stocks, that things that you purchase so the money can come back to you in some form or fashion. Because you don't own these companies anyway, but once you start purchasing some stocks, you can own the company somewhat. That makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I don't 100% agree with that because I look at, stocks from a different way. I look at the underlying value of a stock on some more like value investment. But what he's saying, it makes sense. It really does. So, y'all, that's the spiel. That's my view of really discussing, like, are we trying to make moves or are we just sitting back and complaining because we can't do as much as we want when we don't have enough? And I think Kanye is just the beginning of this. He's just the beginning of like folks coming out and be like, man, we need ownership. Because still to this day, guarantee you, look at the rappers, it's the same thing. Look at the musicians, look at the entertainers. Oh, I just heard something from 50 that was hard. Now, it was on Instagram Reel. I ain't even click it. I just had to read it. And I was like, that's enough for me. He's like, man, I don't even buy designer shit unless it's a gift. And I was like, that's the type of nigga I am. I got a couple pair of J's and I ain't paid for none of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but to each his own, y'all. I'm not here to judge nobody at all. I would never judge a person for what they do. I might not agree with it. I might not even fuck with you. But that's your life, And I don't know if, as a society, that matters to us enough to say, you know what, this shit is always gonna be like this. And I feel like if it's always gonna be like this, then niggas need to shut the fuck up and just keep riding this shit. If that's what it's gonna be like, because a lot of people don't have a mind of their own. So folks are like, well, Ye did it. We on his bandwagon now. So what if he go back and flip the other way now? He got a new deal with Adidas and shit, just peachy cream now. He like, man, I have to take back every statement I said. And like, how we feel it out? How community feel it out to that? Or if it's somebody else, let's just take him off the board since he seems to be so volatile with his dialogue. Let's put somebody else up there. What we gonna do then if they say it? So we gotta, once again, y'all know I'm a firm believer of having a mind of your own. And really, truly having a mind of your own, And I feel like there's a few people that do. There's less people that do than there really is more and how it should be. But it is what it is, And I think once we understand what we really want and what we upset about and what we passionate about, then we can attack it in that manner. But to me, it's like something got to change because, like, we still caught up on the whole mentality of being like, it's so much. I can look around everywhere and be like, dog, that's gonna be a long journey. It's gonna be a long journey if folks really thinking they're gonna get some market share to where we not just purchasing like last names of other people. But I mean, all you got is life until you don't have it no more. So all we got is decades, centuries, millenniums until we don't have it no more. Until we don't have it no more. Until we realize, like, you know what? Shit, we got a whole nother narrative. What's next? But a lot of people do think about this shit. When you go to Walmart, you listen to Walmart, it's like, well, shit, I'm buying Walmart. I fought with somebody who bought some clothes from Walmart before they bought some expensive name brand shit. Because at least you just realize it's clothes. And you're like, well, shit, I got clothes on it. But, like, you still buying from, obviously a white person who's a billionaire, one of the richest billionaire families in the world, really, if not the richest family in the world. But at least it's like, damn, okay, it's a reasonable price. I bought it, it's clothes, it just goes in my bag, You ain't overdoing it when you realizing what the power behind it is. So that's what it is, y'all. Tell me what y'all think in the comments, man. Do y'all think it's tripping, or do you think like he at least cracked the code with the dialogue? And like I said, this is not current at all based off of what was going on with him. That's why I waited so long. So it wouldn't seem like I'm just trying to ride likes and clicks and like, well, let me talk about some shit with Kanye West because it's popular now. Like, it really came to me in spirit. Was like, but you've been wanting to talk about this for a minute. So, tell me if y'all think y'all heard something or a view that was different from what I feel has been out there. Because I feel like we talk about this a lot. I think, and I ended with this, I think the thing about it is that we got to learn how to be able to hear the same thing over and over again. Why do you think people go to the church every Sunday? Why do you think people go to the gym religiously? Because to get the real results, you can't just do it once. You can't just hear it once. You can't just be around it one time for it to become engraved in your brain, into your subconscious. So even if I feel like I've heard this from several masters and brothers I've been with and partners I've been with for years, but it's like in such a noisy world, you have to find some form of clarity. And the only way to do that is to put that back inside of you, to ingest it, to assimilate that knowledge, to assimilate those words and that dialogue. So, man, I appreciate y'all. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Y'all know what it is. It's Words with Waters. Another episode of Words by Waters. Top of the dome topic. We writing until we wealthy. We reading until we rich. Yeah, man, let me know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, share. And yeah, never stop. Never stop, man. It's the last couple of days, man. Last couple of days of 2022. Got better things coming, man. Better things coming. And remember to write your world into existence.